Chapter 49. Pagkarating ni Gab sa Maynila ay ako ang kaagad niyang inabisuhan. I was about to make my replies but I stopped myself. Why should I anyway? He said he'll be away for a week so I assumed makakapagpahinga kaming lahat ng isang linggo. No supervising Arjun's rash decisions, no spying over the Amiano boys, and nothing to do. That night, I was alone eating dinner on our long table since Papa was away too. Silence filled me as I swallowed my food. The next day, my phone was already bombarding me with notifications, mostly from Gab. Out of boredom, I opened the stinking red marks. There were a lot of texts, and there's a picture attachment, but no calls. Tumaas ang aking kilay sa imahe na kanyang pinadala. Ito ay tila ba mula sa opisina. Hula ko ay nakaupo ito sa swivel chair dahil ang view ay ang kanyang kamay na nakapatong sa desk. Ang laptop ay nasa tabi at ang background ay ang malawak ngunit panlalaking opisina. Was this his main office in Manila? I hadn't been there. He hadn't brought me there back then. The bile on my throat became evident, but I gulped it down. I inspected the photo more. Gray, umber, and onyx black were the color of the spacious interior, very dark and very masculine. My eyes wandered and once it landed on something. My mouth formed an O shape. A reflection from a large plasma TV screen caught the contents of his desk. Besides his laptop and the pendulum, there was a picture frame and his executive desk nameplate. Siningkit ko ang mga mata upang mabasa ang baligtad na mga gintong letra. Gabriel Ilara M. Diamiano, CEO, Diamiano Industries. Dumaloy ang mangha sa aking sistema, tila ba isa akong manlalakbay na may natuklasang lugar. I never knew his full name. Never knew that his second given name was Ilara. The sound it made on my messy mind ran down my spine in endless shivers. Ilara. My eyes claimed another spot just to divert my attention. Then it landed on the picture frame. I zoomed it to see better, but the angles made it hard for me. No matter how hard I bend or squeeze my index finger and thumb, this was bullshit. Plain bullshit. And why would I want to see it? Naman, who cares about the picture frame? Kunot-noo kong sinasara ang cellphone nang tumunog ito. Nakaukit sa screen ang pangalan ni Gab. He must have saw that I had already opened his messages. Kunot-noo pa rin ay naglaro ang aking mga daliri sa luntiang parte ngunit napupuna pa rin sa pula. I did not want an intervention in my morning inhibitions, nor did I want to see his sinful face, and I do not answer to anyone. Kaya ganoon na lamang ang panlalaki ng aking mga mata nang mapindot kong tuluyan ang decline. Tagusan ang bigla sa akin at nakaramdam ng paghihigpit sa dibdib. The call just got cancelled. And so, I stared at the screen again, mouth agape. I swore my fingers were innocent. But, what's done was done. As if I wanted this call. Seconds had only passed, and my phone rang once again. It felt like freeing a bird, but it came back to me willingly. I stared it at seconds longer before finally answering. What? My lips were set in a straight line as I boredly looked at the screen. Ang tunog kaagad ng malalim na paghalakhak ni Gab ang aking narinig. Ang kumikislap niyang mga mata ang nakatingin sa akin habang printing nakasandal sa recliner. He's still in his office, main office, whatever. Good morning to you too, Chris. Did I wake you up? Bumaba ang kanyang mga kilay at nagpakakumbabang ngumiti. Isn't it obvious? Sa dami ba naman ng messages mo ay hindi ako magigising? Mataray kong sabi kahit na ang totoo ay kanina pa ako gising. Kinawit ko ang mga kagigising lang ding mga buhok sa aking tainga. I was trying not to call. It might wake you up. I'm sorry. He bit his lower lip but his hand gently caressed its reddening spot. I looked at his fingers, the ones battling his poor lower lip. Its motion was dizzying. I bit my lips and looked at his eyes again. Kaya ayaw pa niyang tumawag ay ayaw niya ako magising. Ganun ba? Why are you calling this early anyway? Don't you have any meeting, a report to review? Sinandal ko ang likod sa headboard ng kama. It can wait. They can wait. I need to see you first. Sabi nito. But how about your girl in the picture frame? Huh? You probably saw her first. Well, but I didn't care. Gab can oogle anyone he wants, sabi ko. Nakipagtitigan lamang ako kay Gab sa screen. Ang mapupungan niyang mga mata ang sumalubong sa aking mga matang naghahamon. Tinaasan ko ito ng kilay. Today, he looked extra polished in the morning, extra fine looking. His suit, extra expensive and smart. Extra clean styled hair, just extra darkly handsome. Did you eat breakfast? It's 8:30 a.m. You should eat. His husky voice lowered even more. Another shiver ran through me and through my whole body. I didn't let him see that, of course. I just looked at him boredly, and I was really bored. Pwede ring magpaakyat ka na lamang ng pagkain. Huwag ka nang bumaba pa. Diyan ka na lamang sa kama. His voice hardened a bit, eyebrows meeting halfway. Ang bahagyang nagmamataas niyang boses ay hindi nababagay sa umaga namin. Dapat ay malupit na ito sa kanyang mga empleyado, ngunit sa bagong gising na katulad ko ay nagsusumamo siya. I dramatically batted my eyelashes at him. I saw him shift in his seat and focused on me even more. The only problem was that the frown marring his forehead. I'm not in the mood to eat. I'm alone here. Papa's out of the country and my housemates do not like to eat with me. Wala sa isip kong sabi. Huli na ang lahat bago ko yun mabawi. I cleared my throat. Breathing was suddenly needed controlling. Even the guards? Sabi niya. Yes, even the guards. They eat on the dirty kitchen. Nanliliit ang aking boses. His office was definitely quiet and our lowered voices may be the only source of sound. I kept hearing Gab's low breathing and my eyes wanted to roll back. Namula kaagad ang aking pisngi sa naisip. Napatingin na lamang ako sa mga libro sa kanyang likuran. Holy shit, why would I even think of that? That maybe I can smell his aftershave from here. That's all right. The guard should never leave their post and only female personnel should attend to you. Sabi niya. But I ignored him. That was not his call to make. Hindi naman ako ganun kasama dahil kasama namin dito sa bahay ay dapat na pantay-pantay ang trato. But I remained silent. Magpaakyat ka na ng pagkain, Chris. You must be hungry. I'll leave you then. Gab tilted his head a bit. His wide chest cladded in a pinstripe suit rising and falling fast. What if I want to cook for myself? Hot dog and eggs? Tinaasan ko ito ng kilay. Baby, please at least change. Roughness on his voice was very evident. Gab groaned, his shoulders tightening as he looked at me. What? What's wrong with my 90s? I see nothing wrong with my choice of clothing. Sabi ko at tiningnan ang sarili. I looked down at myself in my white silk 90s. One strap was down and since I wasn't wearing any bra, my left pink pearl was almost peeking. Oh my gosh, kaagad na lumaki ang aking mga mata. Holy shit, kanina pa ba ito? God! I immediately grabbed a pillow and used it as a shield from Gab. I was so shocked that my phone almost fell out of my hands. Hindi man lang niya sinabi kanina. Bloody hell! Nakita niya! I didn't mean to do that. I swear, it fell by itself. Damn it! I saw myself turning bright red, looking so constipated at my screen. Hiyang-hiya ako sa nangyari. My lips were shaking so bad. I was so embarrassed that I couldn't look at him. My heart wanted to jump out of my ribcage as I picked a glance from him. Gab remained dangerously composed on his swivel chair. His eyes darted on every corner and window of my room before settling on my eyes. Nanatili siyang tahimik kahit na nakikita ko na ang paparating na panganib sa kanyang mga mata. Lumandas doon ang dahas, ngunit marahang namungay ang kanyang mga mata. Calm down, Chris. It's perfectly fine. Perfectly? Fine? Damn you, Gab. Yes, perfectly fine that you're there and I'm here. You're so lucky I just flew here in Manila. What did that mean? Hindi man maintindihan ay pinamulahan ako ng pisngi. Tingin niya hindi ko makikita na pinipilit lamang niya maging kalmado at marahan ang boses. Sinasalubong pa lamang ang kanyang mga mata ay hinahabol ko na ang aking hininga. What makes you think you can touch me here? You can't! I looked away. I couldn't meet his darkening eyes. I already did, didn't I? He chuckled. Were you prick? If you weren't so rigid that day, we might have finished one. Nayakyat na sana kita. Hindi sana tayo inabutan at hindi sana ako nangangarap. Nangangarap ng ano, Gab? Damn it! Itatak mo na rin sa isip mo hanggang pangarap ka na lang dahil hindi na ulit yon mangyayari. Freak! Hindi na pwede yan sa akin, Chris. Kung dati ay nagtitiis pa, ngayon ay bawal na. Matamis niyang halakhak. Mas lalong umapaw ang pula sa aking mukha na sa tingin ko ay pati leeg at dibdib ko ay ganoon na rin ang kulay. Stupid. Stupid girl. Stop this. I am going to end this call, Gab, if you won't shut your filthy mouth. My eyes turned into slits as my face continued to burn. Humahalakhak si Gab at napapasapo sa ulo. Muli niya akong tiningnan na tila ba inaantok ang mga mata. Pinagdikit ko ang aking mga hita nang biglaang lumabas sa aking isip ang gabing yon. Hila, tulak, iyak, mas lalong sumama ang timpla ng aking mukha. Nagtitiis ba siya sa akin na wag pa? Sweetheart, I was just teasing you. I'm sorry, okay? You're too cute. Ngisi niya sa akin. Hinikutan ko ito ng mga mata. Ang aking hiningay kapos pa rin. I will never force you to anything you wouldn't want until you will give in. I will wait. If my baby girl doesn't want it, then no. Pinagmasdan ko ang malumanay na ngiti sa kanyang mga mapupulang mga labi. Unang tingin pa lamang ay hindi nakapanipaniwala dahil sa matapang at mataas niyang katauhan. He breathes with full authority and yet his eyes turned heavenly when he speaks to me. He's always like that with me. But if you say yes, then forgive me for the filthy things I'll do and say. You make me lose it every time. But you already knew that. Gone were the traces of humor in his eyes. Promises of dark, sinful nights were there. No more restraints. No more holding back. Hindi ko kinaya ang kanyang tingin kaya naman dumapo ang aking mga mata sa aking puting mahabang upuan. Iba't ibang klaseng imahe kaagad ang pumasok sa aking utak. I gritted my teeth hard enough to snap me out of it. Shut up, Gab. I faced him. My anger and my frustrations were very much evident. His sweetest laugh followed and his eyes sparked in an instant. Tanging nagawa ko na lamang ay manahimik. Lumipas pa ang ilang minuto at nagpaumanhin na siya at ilang katanungan at walang hanggang mga bilin ay natapos ang FaceTime. Doon pa lamang ako nakahinga ng maluwag. I showered before going down. I didn't have the appetite to eat but I still did though. I texted Papa and asked how he's doing. I also checked my social media accounts and answered a few chats from our group chat and from Sian. The whole day, I busied myself fixing my entire wardrobe. Gab didn't text or call or send anything, even a single emoji, the whole day. I guess he's that how busy he was when he goes home. I can only imagine the workloads waiting for him the moment he flies here in the south, which was his choice. Walang nagtutulak sa kanyang pumarito. The sun had gone deep down and I was readying myself. Romina had desperately wanted us to go clubbing. I said yes since I found good clothes a while ago. I wore a black two-piece dress that was too short and too tight. And the top was strapless and showed an amount of cleavage while the skirt had perfectly molded my ass. Kaunting liad ko lamang siguro ay makikitaan na ako, ngunit maganda lamang ang hubog nito sa aking katawan. The club was already screaming bloody murder when we arrived. People seemed to cram inside for one purpose, and one purpose only: to live freely, even just for the night. Is this something about your messy love life? Your dramatic ex? Bulong ko kay Romina nang tumungo na kaming private booth. Marahas niya akong nilingon, tila ba nagpuyos muli ang nagbabagang galit sa kanyang mga mata. I clapped like a retarded seal. Hi girls! It's been a while since your booth was vacated. It's good to see you three partying again. Lindsay greeted us together with a few girls. Nakipagbatian kami rito at nakipagbeso-beso. Nag-order na rin kaagad si Beth. Lindsay, right? The top most popular girls going invisible these days. Big issue. Kristen grinned meaningfully. Oh, that. We had been busy the whole week. Elections are nearing, so our fathers and titos needed our help. Romina smiled so fake, I pursed my lips in amusement. Let me guess. Advertisement? You could lure the whole country with a picture of you three in silk lingerie. As if Beth would do that, pag-ikot ng aking mga mata. Would you, Beth? I was surprised to see her talking on the phone. But still, she mouthed, "Fuck you," to me, and resumed talking. I threw my head back and laughed. So, girls, what did we miss? It's been a week. I'm sure there's a lot that happened. Mga katanungan ng mga kababaihang dumating sa aming booth. Si Romina ang nanguha sa pangunguna ng tequila. Hindi lamang ako ang napatikim at pati na rin sina Caroline at Kathy. You probably knew about Marisa and Joey's called-off wedding. Ayon kay Joey ay si Marisa daw ang nagloko. There were rumors that Joey's frat brother had been shagging Marisa ever since the engagement. Lindsay shrugged and sipped from her lady drink. Yes, we know. And I'm confirming you that the rumors are true. Tumaas ang aking kilay at tiningnan si Romina. Yup, tango lamang niya. Sus, of course she knew. My dear cousin's ex, Clarence, was friends with that asshole that ruined the wedding of the year. Oh my God! How? You mean, ang mga nagkalat na pictures nila ay may kahulugan? What about the rumored scandal? Kathy was already readying her phone, but I shook my head. That we didn't know. I looked at Beth and pointed Romina, who was now gulping the entire bottle of vodka. Slow down. I heard her murmur to Romina. Ngumiti lamang ako sa nakakahalatang mga barkada. Did Clarence know about Marisa and his frat brother? Christine's eyes gleamed mockingly at my cousin. Ngumisi naman ako pabalik kahit na ang gusto ko ay ilaglag siya mula sa ikalawang palapag. From the mention of my cousin's ex, her head whipped up towards Christine. Humalakhak si Christine na tila ba isang maitim na uwak. Inilingan ko kaagad si Romina. The guy was his frat brother, so obviously, yes, Christine. Matalim kong ngiti. Oh, okay. Where is he, by the way? Where's Clarence right now? But she pushed, and Romina slammed the shot glass she just gulped on our table. The fucker has gone abroad and left me. There, Christine. Happy? She roared, ecstatic. But I knew that already. My brother told me about it. Gusto ko lamang malaman kung bakit uubusin mo yata ang lahat ng order natin. Inirapan ko si Kirsten na nakipagtawanan pa sa iba naming kasama. Napalagok na lang din ako at napatanaw sa mga pagsayaw ng mga ilaw sa ibaba. The alcohol was not enough to drill me into dancing. We broke up para matapos na ang lahat ng inhibition mo. Romina once again gulped the entirety of her glass. I just sighed. Whoa, Romina, slow down. Are you planning to burn memories or burn your liver? Kung ako sa'yo ay pipili na lamang ako ng lalaki ngayong gabi, lalo na't kayang-kaya naman. Ani Lindsay sabay tingin sa ibang VIP sa kabilang side ng second floor. Kathy gasped at the table that Lindsay pointed at. She was practically jumping on our seat when some of those men turned to our way. I played with the tips of my hair in boredom. Huwag niyong turuan, pigil ni Beth. Loosen up, Beth! How will you enter a relationship when you don't make yourself available? And besides, Romina will just fool around. Sabi pa nito. I knew that table. They're mostly businessmen. Alam kong isa ay may-ari ng club na ito at ang iba ay tiga rito, ngunit ang iba hindi. Sabi pa ng isa. They will hear you soon with that tone, Kathy. Sabi ko dahil mas malakas pa ang boses niya kesa sa dagundong ng musika. Oh, see, Romina? That's your chance to move on just for one night, hindi ba? Christine pushed. Ah, the bitch. I would totally want that table for myself. They're just too fucking... Damn! Look at the suits, Armani, Versace, God! Nilingon ko ang booth na yon. Tulad ng sa amin ay medyo may partihan. Dim ang ilaw doon at ang iba pang mga sulok ay wala na talagang ilaw kaya naman halos matatapang na silhouette na lamang ang aking naaninag. I heard one of our batchmates was seen recently with someone from that table. An older guy. Businessman din daw. Diamiano? I think that was the name. Caroline was also trying to personify those silhouettes. Kagad ko itong nilingon sa gulat. Nagkamataan kami ni Beth. Tila ba tinatantya niya ang aking magiging reaksyon kaya naman napataas ako ng noo. Diamiano? I was hearing that pretty name a lot too these days. Naikukwento yan sa akin ng kapatid ko and she's just 17. Baffled, Lindsay gulped vodka. 17? Holy fuck! Don't tell me that. Are we going down that route, Chris? Gub wouldn't surely. Damn! Surprisingly, Romina laughed like a maniac. Dinuro niya ang booth na yon at kaagad akong siniko. Tipsy na yan kaya naman inilingan ko siya. No one must know. But 17? Holy shit. Really? Gab! She's just 17! I read about him on one of my magazines. He's really, really filthy rich and a damn successful business mogul. Naalala kong naging client yan namin minsan ni Daddy. Fuck! I wouldn't know sooner. Sana ay sumama ako. Si Caroline sabay inom. Umigting ang aking panga kay Caroline. Ang kanyang malalantik na mga pilik mata at mapupulang labi ay unti-unting nalulusaw sa aking paningin. Is he the Amiano that owned the largest hacienda in the country? Tanong naman ni Christine. Marahas kong sinuyod ang buhok gamit ang mga kamay. Tingin ko'y nag-aapoy ang dulo ng aking mga daliri dahil masakit sa ulo ngunit napakibit balikat ako. Yes, that's him! Sabi naman ng isa. Mariin akong napatingin sa private booth na yon at it seemed to be burning red in my eyes but maybe it was just the red dim lights around it. Tumulis pa lalo ang aking mga mata. Which Damiano are you talking about anyway? Halakak ni Beth sa lahat. I looked at her and she just challenged me with her smirk. What do you mean, Beth? Well, there were two roaming around the streets of the south and the other one, I don't know. Beth detailed without hesitation. Si Romina na lasing na nga yata ay inakbayan si Beth at nakipagbulungan dito. Dinuro nila akong dalawa sabay tawa. Kanina pa yata yan tahimik. Chris, is there something bothering you? Umiling ako kaagad at lumagok ng vodka. Lasa ko ang hapdi at pait sa aking lalamunan ngunit nagawa kong ngumiti. Oh my God! Siblings! I didn't know that, damn! 3 magigiting! 3! That's enough for me! Anyone will do! Palakpak ni Lindsay. I leaned back on our cushion, feeling a bit out of breath. I swirled the contents of my drink, but that only made me nauseous. Our batchmate that was seen with him, I think, that was named Jerome? Something Jerome. Basta, from their descriptions, it doesn't sound like the business mogul from Caroline's Mags. Si Jerome ay nakakaabot pa hanggang sa aming school? That stupid man whore. But how about his dear brother? My gaze hardened at Beth, who was just watching things to unfold. Trivias and rumors were thrown around and about that prestigious last name. Damiano. I want the eldest one, Kirsten boldly declared. Napunta ang lahat ng aking focus kay Kirsten. Bumaba ang aking mga kilay at unti-unting napangiti ng mapakla. I looked at her firm thighs, delicate morena skin, sultry lips, and her hourglass figure. She's an inch or 2 taller than me, and she has a thigh gap. But a girl like you can never breathe around him, Christine. He was not a man of principles, not even a man of honor. He was kissing you and killing you at the same time, and you end up loving it. You will love those promises that will leave you broken. You could never tame him. No one could. You can try. Beth smirked at me, but I smirked back. Eldest boys were the responsible ones, very mature and much higher possibility to be spoiled like a princess. I can imagine myself in his arms at the top of the food chain. I'd kill for it, Annie Christine. I pictured it in my mind, and now I badly wanted to claw Christine's out. Go get him then. Fetch him like a commanded bitch. Let's see. You try. Try then. He's the eldest of the 3, so is he still single or married, maybe? Very good question, Kathy. Nagkatinginan kami ni Beth. Si Romina ay bumaba na dahil gusto nang magsayaw. I didn't know I was holding my breath for someone's trivia to come up. You know what? You know what they say about married men? I've had one before and he didn't disappoint. Kirsten proudly revealed. Everyone was throwing comments on her, asking questions and all. But then it led back once again to our favorite topic. Nang mamataan kong muli si Kirsten ay nagmukha siyang ahas sa aking paningin. The article I read about him didn't mention anything about marriage. He was still a bachelor from what I've read, Annie Caroline. Top eligible bachelor. Huh? You see, girls? Still a bachelor. How can you be so sure, Caroline? Is that the latest issue or baka naman nung isang taon pa? Singit ni Beth. The motherfucker. Pagkatapos ay nginitian ako. No, Beth. That issue was released just last month. He's still single and very much available. He may have a lot of women linked to him, but that's it. Bachelor still. Ang aking mga kasama ay nagpiesta na dahil tila ba isang santo si Gab Damiano. Walang ibang laman ang kanilang bibig kung hindi ang kanyang pangalan. Nawalan na ako ng gana ngunit matapos ang ilang segundo ay dumungaw sa akin si Beth. Did he lie to you or did your sister lie to you? She whispered. Either of the two. What's the point of lying? Or maybe it's just a civil wedding, not a highly publicized one. I drank the contents of my glass. Or maybe Caroline just mixed up the dates. Maybe she's an idiot. Gab wasn't a bachelor still. He's a married man. I know it because I was to be their maid of honor 3 years ago. Or they didn't marry at all. Or they split up already. Choose. My cousin's voice stung me with poison and her words gripped me like a viper. She has a point no matter how hard I block her. Hindi ko maisip dahil hindi naman na kailangang pag-isipan pa. Choosing would not make me less than the other woman, would it? Nakatingin lamang sa akin si Beth hanggang sa makababa ako. Mahigpit sa aking dibdib na nais kong tanggalin. Pumasok na ako sa loob ng dance floor na ramdam pa rin iyon. As far as I can remember, the Thomases were desperate to rise from their bankruptcy, that they had practically sold their favorite legitimate heiress to the highest bidder. That was the Damiano. They couldn't let these two separate. It would mean their downfall. The marriage was to bind both families together, but pulling out would mean another war to both. Gab was not declining, and my sister was dying out of jealousy with his possible mistresses. Kaya, paanong hindi matutuloy ang kasal? Kaya, paanong nagkiba ang kanilang pagpapakasal? The media was now a useless thing in the society. News, articles, and magazines could now be fabricated and coated with lies. There's no more credibility in it that to believe was to be a fool. My ground was now solid. My skyline were now visible, and my sore face was now tangible. To be a fool was already enough. No more to deceit and blindness. Ngayong sumasayaw ako ay tila ba nagdesisyon ng tumama sa akin ang mga ininom ko. Umalon ang aking pagtingin kasabay ng pag-alon ng aking katawan. I danced wildly. Sometimes alone and sometimes with a partner. I didn't care. Nakailang ikot ako sa pag-inom at pananayaw nang mahanap si Romina. She's still at the dance floor and I made a beeline towards her. She looked very drunk and very in trouble. Mayroong 4 na lalaking nakapalibot sa kanya. Namimilit ang mga ito, ngunit marahas ang pag-ayaw ng aking pinsan. Kaagad akong dumalo bilang saklolo. We will just go out to find a hotel. Bakit ba ayaw mo, ha? Akbay nito kay Romina. Hey, you three, piss off. Marahas kong inalis ang braso nito sa aking pinsan. I shielded her from these men, but they all laughed. Someone wants to join. I like this one. Sumama ka na rin. Sabay nakaw nito ng halik sa aking leeg. Fuck you, sabi ko. Romina, let's go. I pulled Romina's hand, but she's too drunk to know I'm here. I was too, but I still have my consciousness with me. You can't take her yet, bitch. We're not done with her. Sa amin na yan, at ikaw din. They pulled me towards them and I received a forceful tug on my arm. Let's just go with them, Chris. Maybe Kristen's right. I needed this. From being hesitant, Romina went to one guy and fresh kissed him. They all approved and became even more forceful. Romina was just letting them get their hands on her and me. I was too drunk to fight them, but I soon heard screams and muffled murmurs around us. Hirap na hirap akong idilat ang mga mata at nang magawa ay nakita si Jerome kasama ang iba pang mga bouncer na sinusuntok ang mga lalaki kanina. Why did you do that, you off? I wanted to kiss him more. Romina protested, but if I was her, I'd just shut up. Jerome looked so pissed off. His anger was radiating everywhere. I looked up and saw even the VIPs leaning on the second floor's railings. Kristen, Kathy, Caroline looked all worried, but none of them came down. The music had already stopped and Almost all of the people I knew was pointing at us. They had their phones out, videoing everything. Beth was running towards us and I hugged her. I hugged Romina too. Fuck, what happened, Chris? Romina! Beth breathed, but I just shook my head, still scared as shit. I picked once more at Jerome. He's now pointing at the four guys held by the bouncers on the floor while talking to an officer. He looked at us in disappointment and in anger before speaking to his phone. Let's go home. I'll call Arjun, Beth murmured in my hair. At dito na po natin muna tatapusin ang ating pagbabasa sa ngayon. Kung nagustuhan mo ang episode na ito, pahit naman ng like button dyan at comment na rin down below. Kung hindi ka pa nakapag-subscribe sa aking channel, hit the subscribe button at bell all na rin para ma-notify ka sa mga bago nating uploads. Maraming salamat sa pakikinig at hanggang sa muli.